So, a lot of you have been asking me to do a kit bag video to show you what I take on a match day in my kit bag. First things first, for me, I always start off with my footwear. My personal go-to boots are the Nike Premiers. You can get these for about 80 to 100 pounds online. And I actually bought a couple of pairs on Black Friday because Nike had them down to 50 quid. I have the firm ground version, the molded studs, and I also have the studded version. Now, on top of having the boots, I also carry the trainers as well. At this time of year, when the ground is rock solid, I don't like wearing boots. It gives me pain in my ankles, in my knees. And so I also invested in the trainer version of these boots. These are a very classic shoe. And in England, we wear Nike refereeing kit at my level. And so these shoes match lovely, and I think they look great. I'll wear a base layer. I wear the Puma base layer. I found this to be the best one. It's super lightweight. It doesn't actually keep you warm per se, in my experience, but you'll notice a few things. So on the back, you've got this pocket, and this is where you can pop in maybe like a GPS tracker if you're interested in tracking your distances. An alternative to that is using Ref 6, which is what I use. Gives you all your kind of distances, things like that. On the pockets of the arms, you'll see you've got this pocket. Now, this is used to put in either a communication kit, if that's what you have in your country, or for me personally, I put in the buzzer flag receiver. So that just slots right into here, and then that way I don't have to buy a big strap or like a tube grip to put on my arm to keep the buzzer flag in. Then we have our socks. So you think, Eric, why do you have two pairs of socks with you? Well, I don't like the Nike socks. The sock versions of these are awful. And when I say awful, I mean awful. They always rip on your toe, on your heel. If you're a referee and you've worn these, you'll know how bad they are. So this year I've made the change and I've bought the tubed version. So it's just a tube sock. So it's literally just goes down your leg, doesn't cover your foot. And so I wear the tube version because I have to wear them. Now, because of that, it means I have to wear some socks underneath. So I just have these plain black grip socks. So on the bottom, they've got these rubber kind of dots. You can get grip socks everywhere. You'll see loads of them, all different types of brands. And so I wear these grip socks underneath. The reason I wear grip socks is as your feet get sweaty, depending on the boots you wear, sometimes your feet can start slipping in your boots and this can cause blisters, more prone to rolling your ankle, things like that. And so I just find it much more comfortable to wear the grip sock under the tube. And so that's what I do. A lot of people won't like referees wearing grip socks. They think it's big time, but it's so much more comfortable. So that's what I do. So then we have my match day top. So this is the new Nike match day kit. You'll see it's a little bit muddy, and that's because I wore it yesterday and it's yet to go in the wash. But the most beautiful thing is this new FA match official badge. You only wear this badge once you're a level 4 referee in England, and I got promoted to that this year. And so I will cherish wearing this badge for the coming season. Now, the new Nike kit, obviously I've got to pack it, I have to wear it. Well, I don't have to wear the new one, I just have to wear a Nike kit, but again, I'm not a massive fan of this year. I miss the white trim of the old top around the neckline, and the pockets are very big and diagonal, and the tabs are massive on the pocket. You see the tab here? And again, it's not actually that easy to take off, you have to kind of give it a real rip. So when you're trying to access your top pocket during a game in a big moment, it's not as easy as the old one. But it is a nice fitting top, it is very lightweight, and that obviously goes straight in my kit bag. And then you've got my phone. Now, of course, we all take our phone to our games, but the reason I take mine is I like to play games before and after, just to kind of help me relax and decompress. Now, the problem with this is it's not very productive, and my wife's always on at me about playing these stupid little games. So I actually use TesterUp, who have partnered with us on today's video. And TesterUp is an app where you can get paid to play games on your phone. Firstly, you'll just sign up using the QR code on screen. Second, pick an app to test. And finally, just complete the tasks in the game to get paid. It's quick and easy to sign up, and there are constantly new tasks to play, which you can get paid up to £80 for, and you'll get paid out within 24 hours. Now, I know that might sound a little bit too good to be true, but I've personally been using TesterUp for the last couple of months, and by playing these games casually, just a few minutes a day, I've earned over £80 from playing these games. They've got over 22 million users and are rated 4.2 on Trustpilot. It's completely free to use. And if you sign up using our QR code, you'll get a free £5. If you can't scan the QR code because you're watching on your phone, you can click the link in the description. If you want to earn some free money by playing games on your phone, then sign up to TesterUp and give it a try. So now after that, I pack my shorts. So if you know your refereeing kit, you'll be looking at these thinking, Eric, they're the old shorts. They are the old shorts. I do have the new ones, and again, I don't like them. And I don't mean for this video to be me not liking the night kit, but I don't like the new kit. So I go for the old ones. I really like the grayed out Nike tick on the shorts. I think it's very understated rather than the big white tick. The shorts also do not have zips like they do on the new kit. The new kit has zipped pockets, which as a referee, I'm really not a fan of. I don't need zips. I need to be able to reach into my pockets quickly, and having a zip is a bit of a faff. Alternatively, the tab on the back of the new shorts is not as good as the old ones. This one is more spacious. It's a lot easier to take on and take off. And again, I keep my red card in my back pocket, and so I want to be able to access that back pocket quickly. So given the fact that we have the choice on what shorts we wear, I opt for the old Nike shorts. Speaking of red and yellow cards, I use my behind the whistle red and yellow cards. Very, very standard. I don't pack anything else when it comes to cards. I just take my red and yellow cards. I would also maybe sometimes take a notebook. If you look here, I've got this like compact notebook from the ref stop. I've used that in the past. It's helpful to have in the top pocket. I'm not a massive fan of the bulky notebooks, so sometimes I'll take a compact one, but typically I will just write onto my cards and then I'll use some sort of deodorant or sun cream to get the ink off. So yeah, that's what I usually pack. I'll usually pack 4 to 6 of these. I like to have a yellow card in my right pocket, a red card in my back pocket, and then I'll have 2 spares up in my top pocket as well. So yeah, these are the cards that I pack. Then after cards, you've got whistles. So there are a few options that I take with me on a game day. One is the Fox 40 Sonic Blast finger grip. So you'll see here that this is a finger grip whistle, and that basically means that you're able to wear it on your hand like so, rather than needing a lanyard around your wrist or to carry it around. I find this helpful, especially during the colder months, because trying to hold a whistle is difficult, whereas just having it attached to your hand whilst you're running, etc., you can just quickly bring it to your mouth and blow the whistle. So I always take the Fox 40 Sonic Blast with me. I like it. I think it's a great whistle. On top of that, I also recently purchased the Molten Valkene. You'll see the Valkene there, not the fake version, but the real one. And I tell you what, you honestly can tell the difference. This whistle is insanely loud. And you can get a couple of different sounds out of it, so I'm a big fan. I wear this with my behind the whistle lanyard. Very simple, a lanyard, exactly what it says on the tin. So I will basically just wear that around my wrist like so, and then it's good enough length to get into my hand to hold it as I run around. So take a couple of different options depending on how I feel. Sonic Blast, Valkene are my 2 favorite whistles. However, if I'm refereeing somewhere that's got multiple pitches, then I will use my behind the whistle whistle. Reason being is it's got quite a unique sound. So it can cut through the noise when there's a lot of different whistles around the place. So if I'm ever playing at multiple pitches, I'll use the behind the whistle whistle, and that way it can cut through the noise and the players know that that's my whistle coming through and not somebody else's. And then with watches, I always take 2. So I will take my Apple Watch with me. The reason I use a smartwatch is because I use Ref 6. Again, if you've not used Ref 6, basically allows you to track your distances, you can track your cards, your goals, subs, etc., all on the watch rather than using a notebook. And then I also take just a generic digital watch. This one's from the Ref Stop. This is basically just to count up and count down. Okay, just a very simple like stopwatch timer. I run them in tandem. The reason being, if one watch breaks or goes out, you obviously want a backup. So I always take 2 watches with me. So then you've got your coins. So again, a couple different coins I'd like to take. I got this real nice coin from Referee Abroad when we went out to Boston and we went out to Cyprus. So you've got the black side there, and then you've got the green on the other side. So it's a real nice coin that I like to take around. But to be honest, I prefer keeping it as a memento. So I do take it in the bag, but I very rarely use it. The coin I like to use is the behind the whistle coin. We had these made a few months ago. I know a few of you have enjoyed these. And I've given them to a lot of referees that I've met at these abroad trips, and it's really, really nice. So we have the badge on the front, the behind the whistle logo, And then we have the whistle on the back, and also black and white, so it's super, super clear on what it is. A lot of you will want to say heads and tails. I prefer just to say badge or whistle, give it a nice flick, and then, yeah, we kick off from there. So that's the coins that I usually take. So that is the compulsory equipment that you have to take, right? So when you referee, you have to have whistles, watches, red and yellow cards, and a notebook, okay? Some way of documenting the game. Now, that's the essential stuff that you have to take, but there are some additional things that I take to match as a referee. So first on the list that's not compulsory is my flags. So I am now at a level where I will always have assistant referees when I referee. And so investing in a great set of flags was super important to me. I've bought the touchline power flags, okay, the buzzer flags, and they're the absolute business, to be quite honest with you. I've used a lot of different buzzer flags as an assistant referee, and every time I've used the touchline flags, to me, they're just the most comfortable, most reliable. The button is not too easy to press. The flags are nice and thick, they're weighted, and so, yeah, they don't, what's the right word? They don't ravel up when you signal. So for me, real nice flag. Not an ad, by the way. I did pay for these, and I paid quite a lot for them. So I'm looking forward to using these. You don't obviously have to buy buzzer flags, okay? You can buy any flag, but if you do want buzzer flags, I would definitely make the investment into some great ones. They come with this receiver that I was mentioning that slips into the Puma base layer. Alternatively, you also get a strap that goes around your arm here, and you can also pop it into this pouch on the back and have that around your arm. As I said, you don't need buzzer flags. These are just kind of a nice addition. So you can just buy some cheap ones. Especially if you're refereeing without neutral assistance, there's absolutely no need to have a good set of flags, because the substitutes that are running your line and the blokes that are hungover on that Sunday morning, they may not treat the flags with much respect. So get a nice, cheap flag. This foam handle metal one, I think this set cost me like 4 or 5 quid. You can buy them off like Amazon, whatever, but they will do the job for you. You don't need a great set of flags when you're starting out as a referee. So yeah, get yourself a cheap set if you're going out there. Now, with the notebook and writing on the cards, I also like to use a match card. You can get these match cards from anywhere. This one's from RefStop, and it basically tells me home team color, away team color, captain. I can track the goals, I can track the substitutes, and then on the back side, I can track all of the discipline. So sometimes I like to use a match card, especially if I'm an assistant referee. As an assistant referee, I find it the most helpful because it'll be my job if I'm a senior assistant to track the substitutes. And so these can be very, very helpful, and I tend to pack these in my bag. Another one I like to pack is a wristband. Now, the reason I like the wristband, and you can get these from a lot of different places. This from RefStop, Macron do one, Capelli Sport do one. They have the little ribbon on the end which you can attach your whistle to, so you can just wear this effectively as a lanyard. As well, it has a little zip pocket on the back. And what do you think this for? If you said coin, you're absolutely right. It's to keep your coin in. This coin is from Vlad. I met Vlad in Cyprus. He's an American referee. And so big shout out to Vlad for giving me this coin. I absolutely, absolutely love it. But yeah, wristband, well, sweatband, I think you should call it, can be very, very helpful, especially in the hot weather. A strange one, aftershave. After every game, I get a little bit stinky. And ideally, I take a towel and have a shower, which again is something else I put in my kit bag. But when I go into that clubhouse, I want to make sure I'm smelling good, so I always chuck a bit of aftershave in the bag. Underrated. Then a notepad and a pen. This is absolutely essential. The pen, obviously, first of all, you need that for your cards and your notebook when you're refereeing. You can get a pen, like a ballpoint pen, or alternatively, you can also get a Sharpie permanent marker. These are really, really great, especially in bad weather. Sharpies are absolutely spot on. Whenever you write with them, they don't rub off. They dry super, super quickly. So I always carry a blue one and a black one. If you can get a super fine point Sharpie, that's even better. So yeah, invest in one of those. But the reason I take a notebook is because of things I want to remember about the game. Sometimes when I go and referee, there are things that happen in the match that I want to remember and think about later on, and so I'll write them down. Alternatively, if I'm ever getting observed and the observer is giving feedback, I can write some of this down, as not all feedback the observer gives you makes it onto the official observation document. So I'll write it down in the notebook here. And then I'll have this little organizer bag. A lot of the stuff that I have here that will go in the kit bag will get organized a bit more neatly than how you see it here. But so I'll use this bag to do that. So I might put my cards in one section, put my pens in the other. I can store my whistles or my coins in here. You can then store all sorts in here, your whistles, your match cards, your red and yellow cards, your notebook, whatever it may be that you might take, you can pop it in here. So that's everything that I pack in my kit bag. There's plenty of other stuff you could pack, don't get me wrong. You could take a ball pump, you could take a pressure gauge, there's all sorts of things you can take, but this is what I typically take on a game day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.